Hello, this is Jaden Sofa, and you're listening to Deep Questions. I've got 3 people with me here today. You guys want to go around and introduce yourselves?
Hello there, I'm Victor.
We finally got him on.
This is his first time on the show.
We've probably been trying to get Victor on since you started the show, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And we finally got him.
You're going to regret this.
That is Joel Seymour.
Oh, hi, yes,
who
it's
has
me.
Been gone for a good while.
I know, because I'm a terrible friend, and I'm either doing something else or forgetting about this show. You know, like a garbage human. But we're better now.
All right.
Yo, what up? It's David. He still hasn't gotten rid of me.
No.
And we never will, because you are a treasure.
Joel is very good at lying.
I won't deny it, but that's true.
Okay. Today we're gonna debate the Immortal Snail hypothetical.
I am very excited.
So, for people who are unfamiliar with this, David and Victor have never heard this. So, here we go. This is the scenario.
Wait, real quickly, before we begin, how do we want to, go around? Are we all going to just give our preliminary thoughts at first and then open to discussion? Or is it just, free-for-all, anyone can talk? Are we giving our personal opinion first?
We can try that.
Okay.
Yeah, if you feel like you really want to say something, just go ahead.
I mean, I usually do, but it's...
Stop hogging the mic, Joel.
I'm sorry. Go on.
So, you and a super intelligent snail are both given $1 million. And you become immortal. Both you and the snail are now immortal. However, you will die if this snail touches you, and he always knows where you are and is slowly crawling towards you. What is your plan to deal with this?
Oh, okay. I forgot that it was, just assume that you took the money. I thought it was just would you or would you not take the money? But no, this is...
How are you going to use that money to stay away from the snail?
Why? Okay, first question before we begin. I'm sorry, but why did this snail get $1 million?
Well, he needs a plan too.
Oh, okay.
Wait, what kind of snail? Is this a normal snail? Or
Pretty average looking snail.
But immortal.
Shell curls to the right.
Okay, counterclockwise. Okay. No.
So what are you going to do about that, Victor?
Wait, what kind of immortal snail? If you... No, you can't... Wait. Does it have to, touch your skin, or...
It just has to make contact with you.
What is... Can you step
Tag
on it
rules.
with your shoe?
If you
the snail
notice...
is immortal.
If you notice its existence through your sense of touch, you die.
You can't step... You could step on the snail, but the snail's immortal.
So, it's indestructible.
So are we talking immortality in the sense I can't die via disease, but I can die via sword cut?
You can't die.
So there's no death?
Neither of you can die, unless you're touched by the snail.
And there's no way to defeat the snail? At least not
No.
direct combat.
You can't die.
Wait, okay, so why do we... Alright, so we're now cursed with immortality.
Yeah.
Why are we stuck with only $1 million?
That's what you were given.
But
I mean, you can invest it if you want and try to get more.
$1 million isn't... It may last you a lifetime by normal human standards, but it's not going to last you the sun death of the universe.
No, it's not a lot. If you had a lot, you could just buy a rocket ship and go to Mars.
So could the snail.
That's true. It'd take him a while.
It's true. Can snails even get loans?
This one's a super intelligent snail, so,
So
it'll
that's a
find
yeah.
a way.
Yeah, that's a yeah. All right.
Wait, how
It
would
can
it
hire
communicate?
people to...
How
what?
would it communicate?
Through its tracks, its slimy tracks, it's going to make
It's a super
cursive.
intelligent snail.
It
Of
will
course
find
it knows
a way.
Does it talk in Morse code? Or?
Life finds a way. Snails find a way.
So how are you guys gonna escape the snail?
You don't.
You're
Go
just gonna
on.
admit defeat?
You're just going to accept death? Is that your plan, Vector?
Okay, first you find the nearest black hole, invest your $1 million on something and get investments to get enough money to buy a rocket ship. You go on the rocket ship and just send yourself to the black hole.
And then you die.
And hopefully,
No, but you can't because you're immortal.
That's true.
Okay,
So you're stuck in the center of this black hole.
Oh, wait, yeah, right.
You're there
I
for
didn't think-
millions of years,
I didn't think it's far.
and then the snail shows up because he can also build a rocket.
I didn't think it's far.
okay.
Okay, so
I-
new
I-
And
idea.
you're stuck in the black hole because of the gravity, so you can't escape now, and the snail's going to get to you.
Or, okay, here's what you do, right? You joke, you like juke the snail in your spaceship. You're like, all right, here we go. We're going straight to the black hole. And the snail's just like, what a freaking idiot. Can you believe this chump? All right, time to boop his nose. And then like, he's chasing after you in your rocket. And then right before you get into the gravitational pull of the black hole, you're just like, psych. And then like U-turn. And then the snail, he's too slow to respond fast enough, and he just goes, no. And then he gets stuck in the black hole.
That was my second idea.
I would like to
pretty
offer
good.
a simpler solution, and then besides, traveling to the distant far reaches of the galaxy to find a black hole, instead I propose that you invest your money, and of course go on the run with half of it, invest in the other half into like Disney or something, because you'll get all your money back eventually. So give it a few years, you get all your money back from the stock market. We take it all out for the stock market crashes again. Then we get all this money, and then we go to Europe, right? Okay, we're in Europe, and we go to some European like physics facilities, like best on the planet, and we make our own miniature black holes. And then
Then you destroy the Earth.
with our own miniature black hole, we trap our snail inside a black hole.
Decoy snail.
You know what?
What does that mean?
Creating a female snail to trap this other snail inside our own black hole.
Like a Looney Tunes.
No, the snail decoyed you.
Wait, okay, no, explain this, Jaden. What do you mean by decoy snail?
The snail sends a fake
You
snail.
thought you got the snail, but it was a different snail. You go home thinking you're safe, and he crawls in your bed while you're asleep.
How do you... okay, actually, that brings up an excellent point. Is this snail any different from any other snail?
He's super intelligent. and
No, but I
immortal.
mean, like, physically. Like, if you
No.
looked at the snail, you wouldn't be able to tell whether or not he was the snail that's trying to kill you?
No, he's an average-looking snail.
So basically, you'll just develop a phobia for snails.
Yeah.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
We'll go to France. We go to a restaurant where they just... What are those things called? Those,
Escargot?
Croissants?
yes, we just...
Buy a croissant for your snail friend. Try to... Oh, no. Okay, I got it. Easy. We're trying to figure out how to destroy the snail. We're taking it all wrong. See,
The snail's immortal.
the snail's immortal. We're immortal. Now, you said that the only way that we can die is if the snail touches us, and that the snail is constantly traveling towards us, like always.
Yes.
That does not mean that he necessarily has to kill us if he doesn't want to. That's right, befriend the snail. Go on snail dates. You're going to be right next to each other.
But-
He's going to be slowly getting closer to you, and then like you change seats, and it's like a fun little game, and you're just like, ah, ha, 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 ha. And then like you just have this wonderful eternal life together, you and your new snail friend.
All right.
This is not a Pixar movie.
All right, but he
You're
is
right.
still moving
DreamWorks
towards you.
did Turbo.
Even if it's not voluntarily, you're gonna get exhausted eventually. You gotta sleep. You can't just keep moving backwards slightly.
I would like to propose a small orb, a titanium container, to trap the snail in, and then send it to the bottom of the ocean, where the ocean current will take
Decoy
care of
snail.
it. Well, then we ban all snails, and every single snail we find, we put in small titanium orbs and drop it to the bottom of the ocean.
All right. Well, the snail has all the time in the world, and he may be slow, but he can walk. He can roll in this ball like a hamster, slugging it until he finally finds a place in the ocean shallow enough for him to roll up, and he's gonna get to you eventually.
That's when we ban all coastlines.
Ban the coastline?
All right, I have an idea.
A giant wall.
Now, yes, that is a very good option, but the problem is, like, do we just build a giant wall around? Oh, wait, no. Okay, so we could just build a giant... I just had 5 different thoughts all at the same time, and you just heard the verbal representation of that happening.
All right, go through them one by one.
Okay, so we're going to build a wall, but walls usually end, so how do we make sure that he doesn't get around? What if we build a circle around him? Just build a wall circle. That's great, but then he can climb on walls probably, maybe. I don't know, snails. Yeah. And then I was just like, wait, but it's going to take him a long time. And so what if you just make this machine where, like, he's traveling up, and the way that this machine works, it has, like, greased up, like, edges on around this sort of Colosseum-esque structure. On the inside, it has greased up like things on the wall that will just peel the slime off, and it's set to go off like at a consistent time, and it just runs by itself, right? And so like the snail's just like, oh, I'm almost up to the top. Oh, boy, howdy. Gee golly, I'm so excited. And then what? It pushes them all the way down. Goes back up. You're reset for another 15 months.
He's super intelligent, though. He'll eventually figure it out. Is it possible for him to, like, get out the bottom if he switches direction?
I mean, there's ground there, so not really. Because it's... I mean, unless he, like... unless he does that thing that the Doctor did in that one Doctor Who episode where he just punches Diamond for like
That's my
15 billion years. Same. I love that episode. But unless he does that, I think we're good. And even if he does that...
He does have all the time in the world.
Yeah, but I have all the time in the world to start making a bigger living than him, and then I can build, another wall around him. And then we slowly do this for infinity, and then the Earth is forgotten as it used to be, and now it is just a perfectly cylindrical cobblestone mass in the universe. And aliens will look and wonder what hath brought this destruction.
All right, that's very good, but there's one problem with your plan. The snail He's very smart. He thinks about 3 steps ahead. So before he went on this journey to go get
Snails
you,
don't make
he brought
steps.
his little cell phone with him, and he's going to call Billy up on the phone to come get him.
Who is Billy? I will kill him.
Wait, which Billy?
Billy's not immortal.
Billy's not immortal, but how are you going to find him? It's not like you can talk to the snail.
I can track the calls.
We nuke the entire area.
The snail is immortal.
But Billy is not immortal to nukes.
That's fair.
Yeah. I mean, okay. You guys ever play Fallout?
Yeah.
Seems like a pretty fun game. If you're immortal, you're going to have all the time to explore Fallout in real life.
That's true.
Wait,
can you buy a nuclear bomb that will destroy the world for $1 million?
That's a good question.
I'm pretty sure the API is not listening onto our conversation on the idea of using a nuclear device to attempt to destroy a small snail.
Yeah.
Let's see. How much does a nuke cost?
Dude, please do not look that up. I don't want to go to jail.
Go on incognito mode.
The information's not legal.
The information is not illegal. Victor,
right.
do you have anything to add to this nuclear plan? Okay, go on. Because I still think we should befriend the snail, and then we can have, a nuclear family.
It's not going to work. Your plan's not going to work. Each deployed nuclear missile costs around $270 million.
Dang it.
That's almost $1 million.
Times 207.
I would like to give a plan. After Victor, of course. Please, Victor, go on
Okay,
before
so
Joel interrupts you.
we're all going about this wrong. You said we can only die if we get touched by a snail.
Yes.
Correct. Okay, so we invest our money. All right, so this plan, it may sound dumb, and it is, but what if... Okay,
Welcome to the show.
So we're immortal, right?
Yes. Unless the snail touches.
So we invest in... I don't know how we're going to do this, but we'll make our body intelligible. so that way the snail can't touch us.
You're just gonna like cover yourself with like saran wrap and run around,
Or become a ghost.
Yes, become a ghost. But we're
How do you become a ghost?
Put in an application.
Simple. Use physics to literally transport your body into a different dimension by having your molecules vibrate at a separate frequency. This is basic physics
boom, untouchable
of the Marvel
unkillable.
universe.
All right, if you guys can come back with a proof of concept for this, I'll believe you.
Okay. Sounds good.
I'd like to give one more great theory. Okay. So, what's snail's arch enemy?
Salt.
Salt.
Though
That's
we
true.
cannot kill. Kill. So what we do instead is we
Makes us-
take salt and we dry him out still, and now he's stuck. And at least now he's immovable. We then take him and we put him inside of we put him inside molten steel and let it cool, and we keep repeating this process until there's a huge chunk of something, and then we get the next Boeing flight, and they start transporting us to Mars, and halfway along the way we're like, oops, and we just accidentally drop the dude off.
I literally see no flaw in this plan. This plan can work.
Think about it. Salt, super
raisin.
snalt. Salt, salt is super cheap. Yo,
true.
and for like $1 million, man, and you've now like down to like, let's say,
You have to make sure you've got the right snail, though.
Oh my god!
no, but we're both we
Decoy snail.
do this to every snail.
Every snail on Earth.
Snail.
Every snail on Earth shall be
We start a
banned,
global-wide hunt for every snail.
and we make it proper protocol to do so.
I don't think your decoy snail can get out of this one. Because now all
Now what
snails are
about
just
Billy?
raisins. Billy, we murdered the
We
fool.
kill everyone with the name Billy.
Okay, let me ask you this, though.
Bless you.
After, and this may something we wanted, like, break on, like, just to think, like, present this question and, like, break. I don't know.
All right.
But after, assuming that we have killed the snail, right? Or we have neutralized the snail. We're going to be living for infinity, and we're going to outlive everyone we ever loved, and then we're going to outlive the Earth, and then we're going to outlive our solar system and the universe and everything that we could ever know. And we are going to be living a life of loneliness. How do we get the snail back so that it can end our suffering?
What did you do with the snail again?
So what we did is we dropped off the snail in space in a hunk of metal.
How are you going to find it?
Well, we embed in the metal a small tracking device from NASA.
After like billions and trillions of years.
Wait.
It's gonna be
How did you have enough money to do this?
Well, do you see the hunk of metal sitting in my garage this entire time?
But how did you get it in this? You only had $1 million.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The hunk of metal was sitting in my garage for a while, and then when Boeing starts giving us like flights to the moon and Mars, and so forth, we bring the chunk of metal with us as a carry-on. Do you see any flaw in this plan?
I think that Virgin Mobile was like doing space flights, but I think they were like about $1 million. Let's see.
And we have
Well, then I invest $500,000 into this. I invest $1 million into the greatest, or whatever money I have left after I buy a huge chunk of metal, put this bad boy in so it cools off. Whatever money I have left into people who can rob banks really well, and they give me a whole bunch of money back. And then I save that money, and I'll never use it, so I'll never get caught for using it until eventually I pay in cash for a flight to Mars.
So you pretty much used all your money now, right?
Right, but now I live on Mars.
How are you going to get the snail if you're out of money? How do you retrieve it?
But I'm on Mars now, so now I got Now I got like a lifetime, build my wealth on Mars.
What?
Or I could like Vandal Savage it, but like I live forever. I can just like start making investments right now in just like small companies into like every company possible to where eventually that company's gonna become ginormous. I can rank in all the money.
Also, how is money going to help you retrieve the snail when literally it's just you and that snail in existence in the whole universe? Oh, wait, I'm an idiot. Because by the time you're just like, all right, well, it's literally just me that's left in the whole universe. The snail is also that way, and also the metal and salt that was surrounding it is not, and so the snail would have broken out. And then once the universe collapses in on itself after like many years, you are going to find singularity in the snail, and you are going to become the snail, and the snail is going to become you, and then you die in the embrace of snail.
Yep.
And there's nothing left but snail.
Can I tell you about my Lord and Savior, the snail?
We're going to go on a quick break real quick. But we will be back. Hello, this is Jaden Sofa, and you're listening to Deep Questions again. I'm here with Victor Santos, Joel Seymour, and David Jeffrey. And we're debating the Immortal Snail hypothetical. Just a refresher, if you and an immortal snail, you and a snail are both given $1 million and both granted immortality, but the snail always knows where you are and is always heading towards you, what do you do? So David, you finished off with your thing. He's floating off in space now, right?
Correct. So what we've done so far is we trapped the snail inside the salt, so it dries up. So now he's super slow. And then we take the snail, but first I make a slight adjustment. We kill the snail, or at least attempt to make sure it's the right snail.
Okay.
And then we put him inside the
It is the right.
That way we know it's the right snail. Then we add a bunch of trackers and stuff on it, and battery packs, and other ways to eventually charge. And we pop the boy into space.
All right. Here's what I forgot to tell you.
Oh no.
The snail's super intelligent, and he always plans ahead because he knows you're thinking about this. Is like you're immortal, so you've got all the time in the world. So your big problem is you're focusing on how to get this snail to not touch you. So
Correct.
He knows that's what you're thinking about, and he's planning several steps ahead to prevent that. And before he goes on this journey to find you, before he went there, he came up with this system. If he were to be immobile for a year, non-moving, he knows he wouldn't be dead, but he knows he could end up in a situation where he's stuck. If this happens for a straight year, he has implanted himself with tiny grenades, and he will explode and burst out of whatever container he's in. And of course, because he's immortal, he'll be fine.
First of all, I like to applaud the snail for making explosive devices and going under surgery for that. That must have been very painful.
Yeah, he had $1 million to do it.
Okay. Well, now that I've had a year to work off the stuff. I'm living on Mars, and because I'm immortal, and because of the the fighting system of ranking up, who decides to be leader of Mars, I'm now the leader of Mars. So now I will make the Mars army.
The Mars me?
Correct.
The Mars me.
I think you're way over your $1 million budget by now.
No.
All right.
I'm on Mars now, so I'm on Mars dollars. So now it's
Martian
worth.
economy.
So now it's worth a lot more.
Okay.
And now it doesn't really matter at this point because I'm the leader of Mars and it's a dictatorship, so it's cool. But the people love me because I give them food. So now we make the
Matt
Mars.
Damon's potatoes.
Exactly. We make all the potatoes. Potatoes are main import and export, actually. It's very sad. Anyways, so now I got this marmy, right? It's pretty great. But then I don't understand this, that, the snail comes by. But then I hear reports of a snail floating through space, and I freak out. So you know what I do?
What?
I blow up Mars and I run.
Okay, all right. Maybe we can logic our way out of this. And so, after the snail's like, all right, sick, I broke free. It's time for my eternal burden once more. tracking down this guy. And so he starts going, right? And then he hears word that a different snail who was also immortal had killed us. And, like, they have a whole body.
So you
and,
have
like,
your own decoy snail.
Yeah, but, like, what if we can convince him that he's not special and he's not the only one and just drive him to depression?
He's a super intelligent snail. This is going to take some convincing.
You're right. And so, like, all right, well, first off, they just picked up any snail. Once he was neutralized, you can reasonably make the argument that whoever... That actually is a very important question. Who gave us the $1 million and immortality? Was it scientists? Or was it just some, like...
It just kind of happened.
It just kind of... Okay. So, if it could just happen and he was neutralized for a year, then you could make the argument that, like, hey, whatever caused you to be immortal, that was given to another snail too, and he did the job better than you, so now you have no purpose in your eternal life. And then he just stops trying.
The snail always knows where you are, though.
What if you're hanging out 6 feet under in just a coffin for the rest of eternity?
You know, I don't
You
like...
can do that. It'll be a sad life, though.
So, now, what do we say the story of, like, imagine this man, okay? Of, like, the man who was beat by a snail. Okay, we made this huge idea. And your existence becomes the person who parades around the man who got killed by a snail. And, of course, you kill your twin to put in the coffin. It's a perfect look-alike.
But he knows. He knows where
knows
you're
which
sleeping.
one's
He knows when you're awake. Is Santa Claus a snail? Snail to Claus?
Crap, you figured it out.
Dang it!
So you're saying all you need to do is beat the snail is global warming.
It appears Victor has died.
Okay, you said the snail has surgically implanted grenades into itself that are set to blow off.
Small explosive devices.
Why don't you just make your little salt cage grenade proof? It could have been so much more simpler.
You didn't know about the grenades when you were making it, but
Then make another one that is also does grenade proof.
Well, I feel like naturally though, this is a hunk of titanium. So how explosive can these little grenades actually be to destroy a hunk of titanium?
And salt. Lots and lots of salt.
I feel like at most you might like heat up the titanium, but then being in space and all, it's gonna like super freeze.
all right, he's got enough that he can influence its direction, though, and he knows where everything is. He knocks it so it goes towards a star and will melt at the center, and then he's free.
But then the star's like, haha, gravity time, and you're now mine. How does the snail beat me?
You can wait a while. The star's eventually going to collapse in on itself, right? And it's going to shoot out energy.
Well, I
You
feel
can
like
ride those
at
waves.
this point, besides that epic comment, I could then track the snail based on
The silver snail surfer.
based on math and physics, where it always is. That way, when I'm ready to die, I'd be like, yo, what up, snail? Time to die. Well, time to make me die.
That is an excellent point. By the time the sun explodes that you sent him into, you're probably going to be ready to just kick the bucket.
And I'm like, what happens, like, once I die, though? What happens to the snail? Like, it's like, oh, well, does the snail, like, enter depression now because his one goal in life was to kill me? It's like...
No. He finds your dead body, and he just slides in and around it, and he's super happy because that's his purpose in life.
And
I am disgusted.
but what if I start decomposing? Oh, what if I'm wearing a T-shirt that I don't like? Like I'm wearing like Nirvana or something like that. It's
that's
like
the real
I was never really into Nirvana that much, and then I'm just stuck with that for my
You shouldn't
eternal
have
dead
picked out
corpse.
that T-shirt that morning. You should have thought ahead. What if I die today and I'm buried in this?
Actually,
Why
that's
did
a
I pick
really
this
scary
T-shirt?
thought. I don't like that thought because, like, right now I'm just wearing a T-shirt of a cow. And I mean, I feel like that'd be okay.
It's a pretty good T-shirt.
Yeah, but it's just like at the same time, it's just like
it's not the best T-shirt, not the one you want to die in.
you know those self-help books that are just like look at all the stuff in like your room and just ask yourself, does this thing give me joy? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. What if I just write my own book where it's just like, are you willing to die in this? And if not, get rid of it.
See, actually, I collect pop culture T-shirts. I have like 60 something.
Good.
But I like
wow. I did not realize it was that high.
I don't wear some of them. I don't wear very often because I
Yes,
like more
Jaden is
than
in fact
others.
very high.
And I'm scared that if I wear one I like slightly less, I could get hit by a snail and die.
And then you're stuck in your Gizmo T-shirt forever.
No, Gizmo T-shirt. He's in top 5.
Okay, I'm glad. I think we have solved.
Okay, but here's the last question. So, I got all this money, right? And so it's just measly $1 million, but assuming the fact I have eternity and the snail's like off doing whatever because I trapped him, I have all this money. But how in the world do I convince people that I'm A, not crazy about the fact that there's an immortal snail, that A, I'm an immortal, and B, there's an immortal snail that is chasing me and wanting me dead so he can roam around my dead body?
That is a good point. How are you going to convince NASA to get those trackers?
I'm just saying I steal them, but
You steal it.
actually I just buy NASA.
I mean, for
$1 million? Nah.
No, I make a campaign donation to one of the politicians, and then I
a
buy NASA.
GoFundMe.
Exactly.
Yeah, what I would do,
Kickstarter.
yeah, Kickstarter to buy NASA. NASA, that's right. I said NASA.
No.
Fight me.
Noise.
But
Word crimes.
there's worse.
NASA.
NASA. So here's the thing. I go to NASA and I'm just like, hey guys, shoot me. And they're just like, what? And I'm just like, yeah, shoot me. Drive a truck over me. Put me on the front of a rocket and blast me off. And then, like, I convinced them by doing something that no mere mortal could ever survive. And then it's just like, yeah, I'm immortal. And then they're just like, what? Crazy. And they're just like, do you know what's even crazier? And I use that as leverage.
That's fair. I would take a little break first and start a YouTube video where I like chop off my arms and stuff and be like, I can get a lot of views and monetization. Then you can get more money that way, you know?
Well, then I feel like the government would be like, you know what? That's pretty cool. I wonder what does that. And then they'd be like, haha, dissection time.
But yeah, that's why I do it on YouTube, so they think it's fake.
No.
Okay, so I assumed that when we were talking about like immortality, that you literally couldn't get like unbreakable, like you wouldn't even get a bruise or a scratch or something like that. And so, because like if you could just turn into like a pile of mush,
I never
it's just
made
like
that
I'm
distinction.
sentient still. Like that doesn't really work.
But you can... Alright, let's say it does work as you can get hurt, but you will always regenerate.
Okay, so what happens?
Talking more like Wolverine style immortality.
Yes.
So what happens if you're just blown up into like a pile of mush? Do you become like Ditto now?
You will
you were like
reassemble.
Deadpool, where you just like come back together. Or like Vandal Savage, you know, he's got immortality to the point of like, even though you shot me with a nuke, and I shouldn't exist, a single cell regrows me back.
Isn't that
Quite
Dragon
painful,
Ball?
actually. I'm not going to comment on that.
So,
Yes, Victor, your thoughts?
wait, so if you're like Wolverine immortal, what happens if you get split in half and those halves grow into a you? So there's just two of you now.
You have to go
That's
ask King Solomon who's the real mother.
You can have a decoy human.
Yes.
Oh.
But which one of you is you?
You're both you. If it touches one of you, that one will die, and you both have consciousness. Is it okay for you to sacrifice yourself to convince the snail that he's achieved his job?
I mean, I hate myself. So there's no way I would sacrifice myself to save myself. I'm just saying.
But that means you hate yourself. It means you will probably kill yourself because you hate yourself.
No, I'm not. I love living. I love breathing. I wouldn't sacrifice myself to save myself.
Okay, gotcha. That
But
makes
if you
sense.
loved yourself, would you not be willing to sacrifice yourself?
I didn't say love.
What
Right.
if you both decide to sacrifice yourselves at the same time, and then you gotta like fight?
Then you're an idiot twice.
And you rock paper scissors, but you always do the same thing.
What if you just made an army of yourself to just like bury the snail?
Yo, but what happens when the snails, like, you know what? Army time, my side, and they do the same thing. Now we got an army of snails versus an army of you.
If the snail figures out what you did, he's gonna use that leverage and realize he can do it to himself.
Dang, you're right. I don't want an army. Can you imagine looking out your window and just seeing like 4,500,000 snails just outside of your window with like flags and like banners ready to destroy your home and everything that you love? Do you know how terrified I would be? Snails are like the last kind of animal that I want a lot of near me.
I mean, I would feel the same way when I see a picture of your mom.
Hi, Mom, if you're listening, actually.
Sorry, Joel's mom.
She's a very sweet lady.
Wait, so we know the snail knows where you are, so it's just
Yes.
there. I'm assuming he's in space, very confused when he just senses two of you, and he's like, "Wait, what?"
Oh, that's an
wait,
excellent
he can
point.
sense it.
Wait, would it not be like there's two of you, but like half you went one way and half you went the other way? Therefore, you confuse him until he finally figures out what happens?
In his little tracker imagination system of this 3D outprint of the universe, he sees two separate dots now.
No, okay, here's what you do. All right, you split yourself in half, okay?
Okay.
Then one of you just goes hog wild on Little Caesars. Little CC's. Little CC's Pizza. That's what I'm thinking of.
Little
CC's.
Caesars, CC's, Pizza.
No, we're going to CC's.
How hungry Howie's.
We're going to CC's, all right? Me and my
Hot.
buddy. And now me, we're like linked in arms. And so we're just like right next to each other. And so on Snail's little radar, he's just like, all right, that's still one person. Sick. And then one of us gets really, 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 really tubby, right? And then you just sort of hide behind that one and then like use him as a shield, and then the snail, he still only sees you as one person. He touches the other you, and then that you dies, and then he's just like, all right, cool.
How did you convince him to make the sacrifice?
Paid him $20.
That's all it would take for you.
Listen, if
I mean, what would you do for $5?
I could, like, okay,
Give him a Klondike bar.
listen, if someone looked at me and just said, hey, I will give you this $20 and as much CC's Pizza as you want until you literally die, that's a good deal.
I mean, think about different flavors of CC's has.
Mac and cheese pizza, hello heaven.
Like, you could go from, like, you know, you can be, like, the healthy, like, salad phase, you know, but in reality, you know, you got the barbecue days, you got the meat lover days, you got the cheese days, you got macaroni day, you got the egg day. Like, you got all the different fruit groups.
And don't even start on CC's desserts. Have you guys been to CC's? Have you had their brownies? Have you
this
had
entire radio show is just a giant ad for CC's. Go eat CC's now. It's only like $10 a person.
CC's Pizza, where the good eating comes to die.
The $5 buffet.
Please don't sue us.
We love you, CC's. CC's legitimately, I loved you as a child, and I thought, no, that's too good to be true. Then I went back, and then I fell in love for a second time. So if you're out there, please call me. I'm sorry, Carol. At CC's. I miss you.
All right. Well, we're about to wrap it up here. That's all we have to say about the Immortal Snail. We've been talking about immortality a lot, so I just want to let you guys know, you do realize you're going to be the last person to die in your lifetime.
Yay?
So Gen Z will live forever?
wait. As long as you do.
As long as... Oh, what if the snail analogy is... Never mind, that's stupid.
Alright, and we're going to end there.
As if
Okay,
that
cool.
would ever stop me before.